Well, you just watched the highest scoring game by a player this season as Damian Lillard goes for 61 in Portland's win over Golden State. We'll get to the highlights of that one in just a bit. Before we start, however, we had 3 games here on the MLK holiday.
Seems longer.
And we have this little segment that they do on NBA TV with our buddy Ro Parrish called Chuck's Guarantees.
Yes.
And in the last episode,
he's your buddy? He ain't my buddy.
Yeah. And Ro was asking you who you were taking in the triple header.
Pelicans at Grizzlies.
Grizzlies.
Lakers at Celtics.
Lakers.
Warriors at Blazers.
Oh, Blazers. 1 out of 3. 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
You actually 2 out of 3 because you changed here and you took the Celtics.
No, he didn't. No.
Yeah. So you took the Lakers.
That right there was golden. Today he was just guessing today.
Yeah,
well, I guess right. He's just playing the odds because he's. I guess right.
Well, you took both teams.
Yeah, it's really easy to do it that way because this is what Chuck had to say earlier tonight before Boston and the Lakers tipped it off. Oh, my.
I'm guaranteeing the Boston Celtics, Kemba going to get his first win tonight. I'm guaranteeing.
What makes you so sure?
It's time.
As it turns out, it was time. LeBron James spent part of his day in Springfield, Mass, watching his son play, and then went to Boston for the game tonight against the Boston Celtics. Lakers coming in with an 18-3 record on the road.
I'd have fined LeBron for not concentrating on the game today.
How did Kemba Walker get this thing to go in? Huh?
I told you, LeBron missed his nap today.
LeBron drives past Cantor. Look at the pass.
Ooh, nice pass.
Smart. Dennis Cantor, who had 18 points in the first half.
That was smart.
We have the Celtics might, even though I like Philly, the Celtics might be the second best team in the Eastern.
Oh, I told you that earlier.
Remember when I said, Kenny, you might be right?
Oh, okay.
They have no faith in Boston. I think they got more weapons.
Yeah.
But I'm still riding with my Philadelphia. David Ortiz.
Yeah, 69-54.
Snoop Dogg. Double J. I love Snoop Dogg. Thank you for introducing me to him, Shaq.
We go to the third.
I need to talk to Big.
Jaylen Brown going right at LeBron.
Who's that on?
Going up.
You ducking on LeBron James. Smile. Who's that on? LeBron James. That wasn't LeBron.
Yeah.
That ain't. What you mean that ain't LeBron? That was Michael Caldwell Pope.
Michael Caldwell Pope.
Michael Caldwell Pope. Who he play for? That's his name? No.
It's the brother of Contavious Caldwell Pope.
Michael.
You're a piece of work, man. Michael Caldwell Pope. Okay. So 139-107, worst loss of the season for the Lakers as they fall by 32. Kemba had 20, Tatum had 27, Jaylen Brown had 20, and Kristen Ledlow talking about the end of a long drought for Kemba Walker.
Kemba, I would not have brought it up had you lost. But you, for the first time, have beaten a LeBron James-led team. Why was tonight different?
We came to play. We really been struggling over the last couple of weeks. And tonight, we came ready. We know how big of a game, how big of a rivalry this is, Boston Lakers, and we wanted it, and we showed it.
It's part of basketball. Guys, you go for blocks, you get blocks, you get dunks. You get crossed over at times, you get stops, take charges. That's all part of basketball. I think if you were to tally up my successful block attempts compared to my successful dunk-ons, I think I'm kind of more like, so it's not the first time I've been dunked on, might not be the last time I get dunked on, but Jaylen's been playing exceptionally well this year, and that was a good play.
Kemba now 1-28 against LeBron teams. Meantime, Denver and Minnesota.
Good as your last game.
Man, let me tell you something. I don't know what the hell going on in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Andrew Wiggins up top. He had 15.
They look good in spurts, short spurts.
I like Michael Porter Jr.
I love Michael Porter Jr. I want to say this about the Timberwolves. They might be the worst team I've seen this decade.
The decade.
Decade?
Decade? Okay.
You didn't get that?
The decade.
Porter had 20 and 14.
Right back. Oh.
Big joke.
Okay, McHale. No, please don't ever compare that dude to Kevin McHale. Kevin McHale's the best player I ever played against. Not compare Joker.
I was just talking about the spin move.
What?
I was just talking about the spin move, that's all. But you're right, my bad.
Minnesota's lost
I
6 in a row.
apologize, Kevin.
Minnesota's lost 6 in a row and 20 out of 25 as they fall
I'm trying to figure out how they
107
won
to
them
100, and the Nuggets go to 30 and 13. You know, there's another team that's 30 and 13. The Clippers for one, and now the Utah Jazz also.
The Jazz, listen, the Jazz.
They've won 11 out of 12 coming in.
They playing great. They got the most underrated player in the NBA in Rudy Gobert.
And they got Mike Conley back.
Oh, okay. Now this is what's going to be interesting. They played great without Conley. I want to see how they're going to play with him.
Well, I think they found a rhythm no matter what's happening.
Yeah, but it still changes the lineup.
No, but he could jump in the rhythm. He's easier to jump in a winning situation.
All you got to do is swing that ball, let everybody eat, no matter who's in there. Just keep moving the ball.
Shaq, if it was me, I'd rather jump into a winning situation than try to help a loser.
Oh.
Gobert from Donovan Mitchell there, and then watch Mitchell.
Stop the ball.
Why?
Hangs and scores. Mitchell had 25.
You like those Jolly Rancher uniforms? I like
20.
I like what.
Last 8 games for the Jazz, 123 points a game and shooting 51%. That ain't bad. They've won 8 in a row at home, and it's Indiana's worst loss of the year by 30. Snapping their 5-game winning streak.
It's not far-fetched. We could be in Utah for the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, okay.
You all over the place tonight.
No, I'm saying because the Lakers and Clippers might play each other earlier.
Look at those teams all at 30 and 13 chasing the Lakers who lose tonight.
Yeah, but I'm concerned if I'm those teams.
What teams?
Anybody other than the Lakers, because you look at the Clippers, they load management Kawhi. Paul George has been out. They haven't really been consistent, and they still got the second best record in the Western Conference. Because at some point, everybody's going to get healthy, and
everyone's going to play. Huh?
Everybody's going to play.
But you think Utah could sneak in there now?
Well, but it depends on the. I think they're the second best.
On the matchups.
I think the Clippers are the best team in the West. Then you got the Lakers. Then you got Utah. Then after that, it don't matter.
It don't matter?
It don't matter. Those other teams ain't got no chance. Denver's not for real. Denver's not for real. They're not for real. He put it there.
I think he already did. Denver's not for real, and you're not a Houston fan.
Oh my God, that was one of Kennedy's stupidest things he ever said.
That they're going to the finals. Did you have them winning the championship?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he said that they were going to win the championship.
He didn't mean it. He just said it. Charles.
Twitter up and running still. At the end of this long night.
You were on television, Shaq. They have.
I thought, hey, Ant.
You got to be
One
right
cut.
there. They're whisper on television.
Wait, I thought you said Twitter was up.
It is. Michael Caldwell Pope. Come on, Shaq. More love than that for dunking on LBJ. If he dunked on someone, then it would be stop the press, read all about it.
Nope, that was Michael Caldwell Pope.
T.O.
Oh, that was Terrell?
Yeah.
What's up, Terrell?
The highlights continue next. What a strange night in Houston for the Rockets against the Thunder. The highlights coming up. That didn't play on MLK Day, and they play center court on Tuesday. Meantime, we got the Rockets and we got the Thunder, and we've got Russell Westbrook going for another triple-double.
He went ballistic, Ernie, early on. His ability to get to the rim.
I tell you what, man, I got so much respect for Russell Westbrook. I've never seen an NBA player play harder than Russell Westbrook. Every night. Giannis don't have the track record this kid got.
But
White's it from
Giannis plays hard every night. This guy's been doing it for double-digit years, basically.
Yeah, I agree.
So, speaking of double digits,
After a couple knee surgeries.
They're up by 15, are the Rockets at home.
Yeah.
And then here comes Gallinari, and here comes Gallinari again. 16-1 run to tie the game.
Why is he wide open?
Called bad defense.
Westbrook.
Oh, no, this is a mismatch right here.
Oh, rock the baby.
Yeah.
So the Rockets again with the
Good D shooter.
And there's SGA.
That looking like
Watch
a
this.
foul.
That looked like a foul.
Ain't no foul. That's bully ball. Get out of there, little man.
You change the rules, Shaq. We don't bully
Get
people.
out of there. Yes, we do.
Dennis Schroeder had 15 points in the fourth quarter.
Oh, pull back.
One of the best 6 men
Foul.
in the league this year. They go on a 27-7 run to end the game. Chris Paul had a big first half. He had 27 in the first half, finished with 28.
You know good and well Chris Paul loved that.
Oklahoma City wins it 112 to 107. And boy, look at Houston going 9 for 45 from three.
But Ernie, you know what? You know the Rockets. Listen, I just think if you're 1 for 17, that's just stupid. Like if you're 1 for 10, you should say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna stop taking threes. Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
The worst three-point percentage all time with at least 15 attempts.
D. Scott in there?
D. Scott had a 2 for 17 night.
Wow.
But James Harden
this guy had a bunch
nights.
of nights.
On a night when Russell Westbrook recorded another triple-double and has now done that against every opponent he's faced.
1996. That's a week after.
But you know what's interesting about
you and D. Scott?
Shaq, you know,
I left. Left in 96.
You see what all those, look at all those James Harden things? They happened recently. That's what's interesting about this.
Well, that the Rocket style of play just happened in the last 3 years, though.
That's 3 years. I'm saying those all happened. 3 of them happened this season. I mean that.
So what's your
Point.
take from that?
I think you.
Well,
have,
Ernie said your point.
Well, I just think you have to be smarter. Like some nights it ain't working. You have to go to Plan B. The Rockets have Plan A, and Plan A, and Plan A, and. You know, my man who started the international incident, he's been quiet all season because he loves analytics, because he want to look like he's a genius. He's a very good GM, but he's not a genius. These teams, sometimes you just can't keep shooting threes if you're not good at it.
Yeah, but don't shoot. I've never been a shooter, but don't shooters keep shooting until they find that rhythm again?
No,
They missed 27 in a row in a game.
I always
I
say,
don't know.
for me, you know, in the playoffs, I usually shot my best, and whatever. I'm not going to go quote stats, but the one thing that you always do is you take good shots. If you take good shots, they will eventually go in. If you're taking tough shots, you will never get on track. Good shots always in. So I used to just try to seek good shots when I missed some shots, and instead of trying to seek a tough shot to make one go in.
Oklahoma City, by the way, is 25-19 now. They got an all-star?
Chris Paul.
Yeah, I would
Chris
say
Paul, you got to give him points for being a leader.
Yeah.
I told you, I've always said Chris Paul was the best leader we've had in the NBA in a long time, in my opinion, and we got to reward winning.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doing anything for
Well, he is the guy that you would say, wow, he's been the best player, but Chris Paul, to me, has been the all-star.
Yeah, because Ernie, you have to factor in his leadership.
No, I'm just asking you.
Yeah, because I don't think he would have been able to attain the things he's attained.
The team wouldn't have been as good without Chris Paul.
He wouldn't have been able to do that because the defenses would have been pressed on him differently.
But the leadership, you factor that in.
I get it. I agree with you, Chuck.
Let's check out the Warriors and the Blazers.
Oh, my God.
A wild game in
Didn't
Portland.
we just watch this?
C.J. McCollum, a no-go in this one. Damian Lillard
Went off.
was definitely around. Knocks down that three, and then
You think the Warriors,
From way out there.
You think that the Warriors at some point, instead of waiting till the house was on fire, would take the ball out of his hand a lot?
they did a few times.
Yeah, once the house was on fire.
Oh,
Get that.
Marquise Chris, Shaq,
I know your name now, Marquise.
patented mellow turnaround jumper.
You know what? I got to give a shout out to Carmelo Anthony. He's played great this year, man.
Carmelo?
Yeah.
Lillard again.
Yeah, Carmelo has played great this year.
27-point night for D'Angelo Russell.
I mean, D'Angelo's, he knows what to do. He just doesn't have enough with him or around him. Experience. And quality.
They're up 109-105, and then here comes Dame. And he's going to tie the game at 109 and break the tie with a three-point play.
They're going to trade D'Angelo Russell to trade deadline.
You think so?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay.
Eric Paschall,
Minnesota.
as Golden State reclaims the lead.
It does, like when Steph comes back, it doesn't make sense. They can't play together. So they're going to have to start this rebuild going forward. And D'Angelo Russell's a nice piece to trade going forward.
You see Lillard again to tie the game at 113.
That's like, I do that all the time.
Oh, got him.
And Russell with the miss, and we are going to go to overtime.
Iron unkind.
Second Second Golden State game we've had in recent days in which they had a double-digit lead and then had to go to overtime. And same result this time around, just like they lost to Denver last week. Even though they opened up a lead. It's 121-118.
Can I commend Golden State for one thing, Ernie?
Competing.
Yeah, I mean, they are not a good team, but they compete every night at this level.
It's a shame that we're starting to give brownie points so people are playing hard now.
Yeah, but there's some teams out there that aren't good that don't.
Come on, man. We're giving brownie points. Not only are we giving these fools $20, $30 million a year, we get them brownie points for playing hard.
Alex
What
Burks,
kind of
a season high 33.
Jack, can you believe that? These guys making $20, $30 million, and we give them brownie points like they play hard.
No, because some guys
Auto-tune. Come on, man. That's going on auto-tune. You should play hard, Kenny.
129-124 the final, behind the 61 points from Damian Lillard.
Ain't nobody ever told me I didn't play hard.
Lillard's had 60 and 61 this season.
Them Philadelphia teams.
Listen, trust me. When I played with those Philadelphia teams,
they didn't play hard. Some of them.
No. I played hard.
They say that.
Hey, highest scoring games in Blazers history.
Wow.
3 of them by
Stoudemire. Nice shout out, Damon Stoudemire.
Mighty Mouse for 54. Yes, indeed.
Mighty Mouse.
Coach it down there, man. Go ahead, coach.
How about San Antonio and Phoenix, fellas? What do you say? Suns trying to match their season high with a third straight win. They're down 13 after 3.
I got to give a shout out to Andre Ayton. He's playing ball right now.
He's competing, yeah.
He is competing. I thought the Suns, when he came back, they would take off a little bit.
20-3, and you didn't see what I did.
Oh,
Chuck.
What'd you say?
I said he's playing hard. Brownie points.
I like when you show your sense of humor.
Sometimes it's more difficult than others. So 119-117, and the Spurs throw the ball away, and then Bellinelli fouls Ricky Rubio, who goes to the line and drives one off the front rim.
I did not like. Go for the win. Go for the win. Why go for the win?
Yeah, I would go to the rim.
Come on, man. Take that ball to the rim.
I'm gonna get the best shot of
Did you say go for the win or go to the rim?
Go for the win.
Go for the win.
Oh, you got to get the best available
Butter
shot.
sandwich. Go for the win.
6th win by 2 points or less for the Suns. 6th loss by 2 points or less for the Phoenix Suns. 120-118, and that is your final from the Valley of the Sun. I'm always in the mood for another tweet or so. Not Terrell.
Oh, you know, I never knew that.
Well, you know now, you're hearing it right from him. It's
Terrell, okay.
Michael.
My bad, Terrell.
Michael.
I've been calling you
There's a
Terrell
collector's
already.
edition
My bad,
jersey
Big
right
Homie.
there.
Wait, what is his name?
Terrell.
Terrell Owens.
Yeah, no, I thought it was Terrell Owens. My bad.
No, but he corrected you.
I apologize.
Well, you're not the first to make that mistake.
When we come back,
Michael Pope, you the first to make
the highlights just keep on coming. The Bucks looking to go 39-6.
Let's show some Michael.
Hey, the Bulls and the Bucks.
Man.
Milwaukee's won 6 in a row.
You know, I tell you what, I am so impressed with their energy level every single night. They don't have letdown.
Well, you know where it starts, right?
With the big guy.
No question.
There's Zach LaVine for 3. And LaVine will miss here, but Laurie Markkinen there with a follow.
Man, I'm so disappointed in Laurie Markkinen.
Oh, no, he's just getting
No, he has not played well this year.
coming back.
No.
Bucks by 1 at the half. And
Oh, my God.
Giannis.
Boy, they playing Charles Barkley defense out there.
Rotate, Lauren. Rotate, Lauren.
Stand in front of that, Chuck.
Yeah, but I'm saying Laurie Markkinen has not played. Ooh, tell you what.
He's got it all.
Remember when they changed the rules? They changed the rules so Wilt couldn't dunk. Shaq, if this kid makes threes, they're going to change the rules.
Milwaukee wins again, 111-98. Bucks 11-0 now when they hold teams under 100. They're 16-0 when they shoot 50%. They shot 58% tonight. They sweep the season series from the Bulls, and since that Christmas Day loss to the Sixers, Bucks 12.
Did you really say they swept the Bulls?
Yes, they did.
How many teams can say that?
Well, it's surprising they've got the season series.
There's your guy.
already.
There's our guy.
Not quite the all-star.
Hey, I'm telling y'all, if Bam Adebayo is not an all-star, I'm not. Oh, give me that.
We already know you don't.
But you know what?
He in the dunk contest?
No, but he should.
He's going to be in an All-Star game.
Buddy Hield will miss, but Marvin Bagley is
Okay,
right
Bags.
there.
I got to tell you,
Hey,
Shaq.
Bags.
Bagley had 15 and 15.
Shaq, I got to tell you something. I'm really disappointed in your Sacramento Kings. I'm not going to lie.
Listen, we're going to make that a spot.
You gonna make the what?
What?
Bro, it's up there on the board.
Wait, come on, man.
It's on the board.
Kendrick Nunn to Duncan Robinson ties the game at 103.
Okay, Shaq.
Nemanja Bjelica.
Give me somebody later.
Yeah, so they're up 2.
Yeah,
Under 2 seconds to play. Miami, by the way, no Jimmy Butler.
Oh, my
This
goodness.
night, but look at
on.
Adebayo.
Come on, Shaq. Come on, Shaq. They're going to make the playoffs. They can't beat this team without Jimmy Butler.
Hey, Miami's pretty darn good.
But that's what they are. They much better with Jimmy Butler.
18 and 1 at home. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Hey, we're still a young team. We're still rebuilding.
Yeah, you've been saying that for 12 years.
That's
Not a
Kendrick
young-
Nunn again. He had 25.
You're better than your sons. How about that?
No, you're not.
3-point
you're not.
game.
Here we are.
You're not better than my sons. You
Underdog.
James Johnson comes up with a big block on Bogdanovich.
What, one game or two games?
And the Miami Heat go to 19 and 1 at home. They've won 8 in a row in their gym. And they've won 3 of their last 4.
Good day spot.
10 and 4
Next year, we
in games decided by 6 points or less.
Wait, next year. We've been saying that for 5 years.
Are the Miami
Suns
Heat, who
3
pick up their
games better.
30th win, 30 and 13.
Way
We're the
to
Heat.
talk over these guys, Ernie.
Most surprising team in the NBA this year.
This is the game.
that you.
No, this was a fun game because between Trae Young and the Raptors, who are battle every
I
day.
tell you what, man. I'm a Masai Ujiri and Nick Nurse. They're doing a fantastic job. Fantastic job.
got him. Step back.
And I know they're trying to get Masai Ujiri to come to New York. It was either that or be the captain of the Titanic.
Nice move there. What do you think about?
And Young, watch Trae
give
Young
me
get
that.
the steal here.
Oh, that's goaltending.
Go to him.
Yes, it
That's
is.
goaltending. They didn't call that?
Yeah, it is. It's goaltending.
Go to him.
Called on Norman Powell, who had a big game. He had 17 points in the fourth quarter to Norman Powell and 27 on the night.
Got a score here.
Fred Van Vliet.
Got him. Got him.
You back, boy.
Big gig.
It's a shame.
Big gig.
Toronto just add that to another city I'm never going to see again.
Raptors go to 29 and 14.
No, though. They can get one.
They have beaten
Give
the
what?
Hawks 9 straight, have the Toronto
A
Raptors.
lot of teams can say that, Ernie.
And they've won 5 in a row on the road, have the Raps. 122 to 117.
Oh, hey, listen, they're
That
doing
final.
a fantastic job.
Now Philadelphia and Brooklyn.
This was a
4
really
and
good
2,
game.
4 and 2 without Joel Embiid after that finger.
I told you,
injury.
Ernie, this was the turning point in their season.
Oh, my God.
It was time for Ben Simmons to step up and be a leader with Joel being out.
He had a 13-point third quarter, did Simmons. He had a 34-point triple-double.
You know, Ernie, listen, I'm
That's
not
a hell of a shot right
I'm
there.
not a basketball
Abdul to
expert.
Ben.
If they got all these shots are layups.
Those are flip shots. Those are
Come on, man, stop it, Kenny.
Hey, he's
was a
supposed
tough
to play.
shot, though, man.
He ain't got no jumper. He's supposed to get in the paint.
Can't be mad at him.
Karis LeVert makes the layup. By the way, Kyrie Irving not playing in this one for the Nets.
So, Shaq.
And whoa, look at Jared Allen gets it blocked by Al Horford right off his dome.
Shaq, Ernie and Kenny, if one guy's beating me, wouldn't you double him at some point?
At some point.
Furkan Korkmaz.
One guy's dominating the game, I would take the ball out of his hands.
117-111 the final. Games decided by 6 points or less. Philadelphia 13-9 now. And
What does that mean?
Brooklyn loses another game when they have a halftime lead. They've done that 13 times this year. 117-111 is the final. Let's update the Eastern Conference standings because we're past the halfway point of the season now.
What's that loud noise? My Detroit Pistons getting up to number 4.
Number 4.
Okay.
They're number 9.
I was just, I was just talking.
Yeah. Milwaukee just continues to lead the way in dominating fashion at 39-6. Miami 30-13. Again, winning without Jimmy Butler on this night.
You know, that all looks really good, but listen, there's only one team on that list got a chance against the Bucks, and that's the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't believe in Boston, Toronto, and Miami. I don't believe in them at all. I'm not going to
Believe
lie.
in Boston, even at that.
I do not believe in Boston against, when I look at that list, Milwaukee is up here, and Philly is the only team that's got a chance against them in a 7-game series because they would have other than Giannis, the next two best players, if Ben and Joel Embiid are healthy. But Boston, Toronto, Miami, no, they cannot beat Milwaukee.
I think Boston, has an opportunity to really make some noise because they have three guys that are very difficult to guard. And we all know that playoff basketball, a lot of times, that offensively at least, the first option doesn't work. You got to go to plan B, C. And you have to have guys who could create shots with 8 to 10 seconds left on the shot clock down. When you're able to do that, then you always have a comfort level. And you got three guys that are possibly, two for sure, that could do that in Tatum and Walker.
Both teams come with F.
Yeah.
If what you're saying, the Boston can put those three guys together, play a complete game, they have a chance. Philly, which Embiid we gonna get? The one that shoot jumpers or the one that plays down low? Which Ben we gonna get? The passive Ben or the aggressive Ben?
Well, I told you, Shaq, as far as Philly, I told you I said it when we had the first game. Joel didn't play. They have not had a leader. They just play the game strictly on talent. They don't have an identity. This is the time where Ben can't be passive. We know right now, it's Ben or it's Joel. Joel's out the equation. Ben has played great since Joel has been out. This is his time. This is his time. For every player, there comes a time where it becomes, you have to go, and this is his time. And I thought this was a turning point in their season, and I've been very encouraged. Now I can't wait for Joel to come back and see how they put it together.
Philly at Toronto, a matchup of two of those teams in that mix behind Milwaukee. They play on Wednesday night. Still to come. Pels last game before Zion's return.
Oh.
But look who they got back tonight. Drew Holiday. Huge night. The Sports Legacy Awards were handed out to Caron Butler and Robert Parrish and Cheryl Swoops and Doug Williams. And the Pelicans in control with Drew Holiday back in there after missing 7 games.
Cashed out today. He cashed out.
I'd like to see him with a contender, though.
Brandon Ingram out of the corner for 3. They had 15 threes in the half, and they get Zion back on Wednesday night.
How could you tell?
Bang, bang.
Don't only talk about it.
Holiday there, and then
Good pass.
If I had $1 for every time I saw Zion highlight the last couple days, I'd be a billionaire. We get it, Aspen. We know he's playing.
Boy.
Freeze him.
Man, look at that. He's great with that left hand right there.
16 and 9 on 5 of 14
Hey, Jared
shooting for
Jr.
John Morant.
That little Jackson kid is balling too.
like
Speaking
this.
of balling, don't leave him open.
Yeah, they were down
Back up.
25, came back to cut it to 5, and then J.J. Redick, the number 2 3-point shooter in the league, knocked that one down for a 126-116 New Orleans win. Away team and home team probably not going to cut it on that score.
0-0.
Wow. Who did that one?
The crack staff.
Oh, man, let's tell you right now. I'm going upstairs.
Man.
Heads are going to be...
Wow. Y'all make fun of me every time I say something stupid. That was good, Earl.
New Orleans 11-5 after their 13-game losing streak, and Memphis has its 7-game winning streak snapped. They'd won 6 in a row at home. On we move. Orlando and Charlotte.
Oh, my God. Can we wait till this DVD come out? I'll catch this one on the plane.
Markelle Fultz with the floater.
He got his confidence back now.
Nice. I'm happy for him.
And I'm happy for
Fournier
him.
I don't know if he meant to bank that
3.
still, though.
Boy, these. Ooh.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, dunk.
Oh, who
Terrence
that?
Ross
Daryl
can do
Armstrong?
that. Terrence,
Like Daryl Armstrong out there.
Vic Vucevic, beat the shot clock buzzer, why don't you, off the glass?
Shaq rolling over in his grave watching his Orlando Magic.
No, they won by 30.
He's still rolling over his grave
They
watching.
My
win
boy
it.
back at Mo Bamba.
Road team wins it over home team, 106
Come on,
to
man. That's
83.
embarrassing right there.
7 straight losses for the Hornets, 6 in a row at home they've dropped, and Orlando, 6-game trip, 3-3.
Orlando's playing better now.
Yeah, they are. 21 and 20
Come on, Charlotte.
is their record.
Michael Jordan. Oh, no.
How about the Knicks and the Cavs?
How about let's just wait for this one, too?
Kevin Love and the Cavs.
Kevin Love, don't worry about 3 weeks. You're going to be on a contender.
Marcus Morris and then Julius Randle.
Games like this don't tell you
They each had 19.
Yeah, it tell me that I don't need that league pass.
There's Larry Nance for 3 out of the corner.
You don't need that league pass.
Oh, so you wouldn't watch this game?
Man, I wouldn't watch this game if they paid me to.
Okay, we're paying you and you're watching.
I'm watching a good doctor, I ain't gonna lie.
106-86 as we scramble.
Come on, man.
Knicks Cavs highlight as the Knicks snapped their 3-game losing streak. They'd also lost 5 in a row on the road, but that streak's over.
Come on, man. Y'all be trying to blame y'all coach. Y'all players suck. It ain't the coach.
And hey, how about this?
Come on, Ernie.
No, you're getting worse.
Come on, Ernie.
Wizards.
Come on, man. Let me tell you something.
What about this game?
Listen,
Look at
listen. Got him. Listen, I respect the fans, but let me tell you something. If you went to this game, come on, you got no life.
Bradley Beal had 29.
You got 0.
You wouldn't go to this game?
I would not. Hey, listen, I would not. Oh, see, why y'all? Do y'all know what y'all record is?
13 and 28 coming in.
Yo, if anybody danced on the sideline.
Come on, man. Stop dancing.
Give me some music there, Kenny.
There's hardly enough time.
You want to dance? This the music y'all be dancing to. Sorry, Drummond. I know you got hurt.
Yeah. Boy, he took a shot.
That's why we are basketball players and not boxers.
106 to 100.
I know he can't wait for the trade deadline to get the hell out
The
of.
Pistons have lost 10 straight games in Washington.
That's
Oh, my God.
Come on, that's it. Come on, Ernie. Ernie, that's
They lost
impossible.
10 games in
Lost
Washington.
10 in a row
That's
in
not right.
Washington.
That's not right.
Come on, Ernie. You got to get. Hey, underdog, check the stats.
Don Wall ain't been playing for
Hey, coach's challenge.
That's to wrap things up on Inside.
Oh, the coach's challenge. That can't be true.
You're watching Inside the NBA, brought to you by the Telluride from Kia, official automotive partner of the NBA. Visit kia.com to learn more.
Back at you Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern for our 1-hour pregame show. We will announce the All-Star starters and then bring you the Lakers and Nets, followed by the Mavs and the Blazers. Normally at this time we would play that goofy Nito Stat of the Night music, but not on a night like this as we wrap up the triple header night on the MLK holiday, 14 games in all around the NBA as we honor the memory of Dr. King. The pregame show that we had, a couple of just wonderful features to memorialize the day, and one of those was about the number of streets with MLK honored on them, more than 1,000 around the world. And what you had to say out of that piece is something that we shared on social.
It's really important that, especially the basketball community, because if you took the salaries of all of the African-American men in sport, of just basketball, it would surpass any other economy. So I think we do have a responsibility in this regard. And you said there's systematic racism, but I always looked at it as a bottle. And there's some people at the back of that bottle and some people at the front. And some people at the back will never get out of that because of, and when I say in the back, of all the things that have been put in place for them not to get there. We have been fortunate to be at this bottleneck and get out and be able to be looked at as Shaq, not as Black Shaq, not as Black Kenny, Black Charles. So it's important that the people who have made it at the bottom don't realize that, oh, if we work hard, you just need to work hard, because some people are born at the back of that bottle that systematically will never be able to get out of it in the right time. And so it's important for us who do make it to figure out ways to help as well.
And that's trying to help and make an impact in areas like Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard here in Atlanta that has got some real trouble and needs to be helped. And the Hawks are saying, hey, let's do this. Let's start it right here in Atlanta.
Got it. I got the idea. You know, I think the first part is understood. It's got to be an educational component. And so there's a couple of educational components that I would love to put in place. And you put that at the forefront, because the one thing that's always held us back was the fact, either the lack of access or the lack of education. So now, if you're able to put something in the forefront, especially on MLK Boulevard, probably the most, would you say, the most smartest man any of us have ever seen in terms of knowing social change, if we put that at the forefront, then all of a sudden we put that message, and then the sports and everything else come behind it. But Hawks, I'm calling you, baby. I'm calling now. We calling. We definitely calling.
Well, I think it's important. Number one, great point by you. I think it's just so important, and we got a lot of guys out there doing some amazing things. Amazing things. Unfortunately, the society we live in, they only point out the negative stuff. LeBron has this amazing I Promise School. The great David Robinson has been taking care of kids for close to 30 years now, taking over schools and sending all the kids to college. I mean, so there's some amazing people out doing some amazing things, and we should do more. But it's a community effort. Because like I said, America is the greatest place in the world, but it's been built on systemic racism. But also the people who are up against that, they have to take control of their life and say, because you got to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. There's a lot of obstacles set up for you, but do you use that like, oh, this is the reason I'm not successful, or you say, okay, I'm not going to let you stop me from being successful. Because, you talk about education, I really believe, because I think that as a black man, I think our people spend way too much time trying to be the next Champ Bailey, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, which is like hitting the lottery. Our lives are like hitting the lottery to be able to make it into the NBA. But we got a lot of black doctors, lawyers, engineers, teachers, policemen, and things like that are really much more attainable. So I agree with you 100%. One of the reasons I put all my money toward education, I don't put my money ever toward sports. I love sports. Sports have given me every single thing in my life. But I don't want every black kid growing up thinking they're going to play pro sports.
From what I've seen on most of the Martin Luther King boulevards that I've visited, lack of jobs, lack of funding, lack of education. So you're right, we need to do more. If the Hawks or, all the big-time people in Atlanta could beautify the area, get people some jobs, help them feel good about themselves so they could do what Charles is talking about, I think it'll be a better place. But like you said, being at the back of that bottle, we don't have jobs, if we don't have opportunities, we're always going to be at the back of that bottle.
To sum it up lastly, Ernie, I think that, because Shaq does a great job with a lot of programs that we don't highlight a lot of times, but I think growing up, and y'all both can answer this, how many people offered to help you become a basketball player? Countless, right? I'll help you with your left hand, I'll help you with your right hand, I'll help you shoot. Not once has anyone ever come to me and said, I'll help you educationally, or I'll help you become an owner of a team. Never in my life has anyone ever approached me when I was young. And that is the difference in our communities, where we have to change the mindset and that thought of. It's like, yeah, basketball is great, and Charles says it's unattainable because the realistic number is only 5,000 NBA players in the history of the sport. History. There's only been a little more than 5,000 players actually play in an NBA game. So you're taking the world, and only 5,000 in the history of basketball has ever played. And you're trying to attain that, then change some other things that are even greater.
Yeah. And we're going to close the show kind of the way I began the day. And this is what I do, and we've talked about this before. This is what I do every year on this holiday, is when I'm driving to work, one of the best purchases I ever made was down at the King Center one day when we were doing the show down there, and it was just a DVD of one of Dr. King's sermons. And it was the Drum Major Instinct, which was delivered at Ebenezer Baptist Church, and it was 2 months before Dr. King would be killed. And to hear him in this sermon use humor while he's talking about being imprisoned, and he's saying to his jailers who were questioning him about what he was doing and why he was getting arrested, and he said, "How much are you making?" Well, this is what he's making. He said, "Well, you should be out with us doing what we're doing." He said, because it's not just injustice. He said, and don't feel like you've got this drum major instinct, and you lead the way just because of the color of your skin.
Well, the most amazing thing about that is I've never heard Dr. King, and I, being from Alabama and being from the South, my mother and grandmother always talked about Dr. King and listened to all his speeches. I never heard him say anything about just black people, ever.
Yeah. No, it was always, and the thing he's trying to do is, he was talking about the danger of having this drum major instinct where you want to be at the head, you want to lead. He said, but you have to want to lead in the right ways. And he ends that sermon the way we're going to end this show, about wanting to be remembered this way. Good night.
Yes, if you want to say that I was a drum major, say that I was a drum major for justice. Say that I was a drum major for peace. I was a drum major for righteousness. And all of the other shallow things will not matter. Then my living will not be in vain.